Hey everyone, this is Dan the GM, and I'm bringing you episode 79 of What the Dice. I hope you guys have been enjoying these episodes as I have been pumping them out left, right, and center. If you guys haven't already joined us on Discord, you can find our links over at whatthedice.weebly.com. On top of that, we've got a YouTube channel that we're putting a bunch of stuff out on. We got releases multiple times a week. I try my best to get as much stuff out and give you guys a pretty good variety of what the dice does, which is weirdness. Mostly weirdness, not gonna lie. But don't forget, guys, whatthedice.weebly.com, that link site will get you everything and everywhere that we're connected. So, I'm gonna shut up because I have been rambling on for too long. And I'm going to let you guys get started with this week's episode of What the Dice. As we look out across the sea, we watch the waves crash down upon each other. The old man, standing behind us, clears his throat lightly. Well, my friends, it seems as if the adventurers have cast themselves into a sea of mystery. Faye and Clyde interrogated, or lightly questioned, Terry, as Defibulus and Kalila hang out on the casino floor and learn to listen and have met a strange man known as the Collector. Well, there seems to be much more mystery in this little scene. How about we go back to the campsite, sit back, relax, so you may hear me tale. So, in the last episode, you guys had a chance to wander around the ship, ask a couple questions. Terry was interrogated. So would he be interrogated?
Yes.
Woo! Good one.
Defibulus got insulted by two elves, and Kalila ran into someone that she has met before and ended the episode getting lost, staring out into the clouds. And I think there was a bad pun at the end.
I'm not sorry.
It was a perfect one.
It was about some perception.
Defibulus and Faye. Faye. I don't know why. I just want to keep calling you Faye.
Question.
I don't know why. Yes.
Do you mean Clyde?
What did I say?
Defibulus.
Okay. Apparently I can't keep names straight. Clyde and Faye. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm going to turn to Faye and suggest that we just do a search of all the empty rooms first, because that'll be quick and easy before we start pulling down people for questioning.
Sounds good to me. Let's start at the end of the hallway, I guess.
Sounds good. Team up. Always team up.
Okay.
Keeps everybody on it.
Yep.
All right. So I need perceptions from both of y'all.
11.
Mm-hmm. Faye?
Blackjack!
What?
21. She yelled blackjack. 21.
Okay.
Casino ship, right? Okay. All right.
Yeah, except none of y'all are gambling.
Not at the moment.
As you enter into this room, you take a preliminary look, and it almost feels too sterile. The bed is made and tucked all nice and tight. The overthrow blanket is folded meticulously at the foot of the bed. The bathroom area has been detail cleaned and the door left open. Everything is Perfect.
I'm gonna ask Terry, how often do the unused rooms get reviewed and cleaned?
He goes, well, if no one rents the room, we secure it for the flight so that no one may enter it except for crew.
Is this a typical cleanliness of a room, or does it seem, I don't know, too well done?
He looks in, he goes, that's how it looks when we left port yesterday, day before yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it looks like when I walked into the room, you know, it looks like an unused room. Looks good to me. Can I get... I kind of wonder if I could get Hugin to come peek around and see if he sees or smells or notices anything unusual. I mean, he's not my pet, but I can ask him, right?
Yes, you can.
What do I need to roll on that one, if anything?
Well, technically, Hugin is a character, so you need to talk to Hugin. And then Kalila would do the rolls because it's her pet, and she has the character sheet.
Alright then, Hugin, can you take a look around and see if you notice anything unusual, buddy?
He'll give you a couple little front foot stamps and look around. Or what? He starts meandering around, at least to you guys.
Perception check for Hugin, which is the weirdest thing. I don't think I have said that in 70-something episodes.
Cherry puppies.
18.
He finds a casino chip that has been lost. One that is worth 10 gold.
He will... Eventually the giant spider, or big spider, comes back to you with a casino chip under his front foot, and he slides it to you.
Thanks, bud. Is this dusty or anything, or does it look fresh? How long's it been here?
It looks like it's got a layer of dust on it, so it's probably been here a while. It looks like it may have fallen out of someone's pocket, rolled under the bed, and just went into a corner somewhere.
Lucky day.
You were 10 gold richer than you started today.
Split it with you later, buddy, okay?
Gives you a butt shake.
Alright, I think that's it for this room if we're not finding anything else.
I concur.
To the next empty room.
To the next empty room.
In this room, it feels like it's slightly smaller, but identical to the last room. Everything is white, folded, tucked nice and tight. Shower doors left ajar, bathroom doors left ajar. Very clean and sterile, like the last one.
Hey, Hugin, you want to check this one out too?
He'll meander.
Perception?
3.
He finds nothing.
He eventually just comes back and just sits.
Alright. Find anything, Clyde?
Oh, nope, I did not find anything.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 1, so I have a 6.
So Clyde basically just looks around and goes, it's white.
Looks as clean as the old room.
I, however, have rolled a nat 20.
With a nat 20, you begin to be a little bit more thorough, to the point of you start undressing the beds. Or bed, because there's a single bed. Digging through, you eventually find a small satchel of gold. Or satchel with gold in it. Opening up the gold, you look inside, and inside you see 300 gold pieces.
You'd think somebody would notice this going missing. Does this look like it's been here for a while too?
Yes, it looks like someone had maybe...
tucked it away drunkenly and then forgot about it?
Yeah, maybe it was that this is their emergency fund in case they gamble too much away, and they hide this from them drunken self. And then probably either struck it big and forgot about it, or was drunk and forgot about it.
Alrighty then.
Alright, I'm already moving on to the other one, because I thought I was yeah, that was fine.
So let's get another perception check from everyone.
9.
Okay.
I'm tripping over how someone just left behind a bag of gold. I rolled a 2.
And what did Hugin roll?
I watched my dice tip from a natural 20 to a 2.
This room is clean.
You can trip it over it too.
Yep. Hugin's just sitting there. No one asked him to look, so Hugin doesn't care.
Clyde, as you look around, you do find that, the bed is slightly not perfect like everything else, but for the most part, there's nothing in here.
Okay.
All right, so to the next room, I'm assuming?
Yes, now research the collectors.
So you're going into the collector's room.
Yes, we are.
All right.
I'm assuming Terry hasn't been saying anything, just been standing there like, okay.
Well, you guys are running the investigation unless you are trying to blatantly steal. These other rooms were inoccupied. No one was in them, so he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The collector's room. As you guys enter, you notice that this room is a little warmer than the rest of the rooms. You also notice that he seems to have extra blankets. You also notice that there are multiple wooden briefcases or traveling boxes that are stacked in the room. What would you guys like to do? Go ahead and search it, or do you have something particular you want to do first?
First, search. To me, I'm going to search walls and floor before going into anybody's stuff.
Okay. What about you, Faye?
I will peek through the top layers of things, and if I feel like I'm finding anything that something's not adding up, if I get that gut feeling, I'll look a little bit deeper, but mostly just surface level of things.
All right, perception checks, please.
7.
So Clyde has the 7.
This is my usual perceptions.
A 24.
So as Clyde is investigating randomly, you begin to peer into a couple of the boxes, and it's almost creepy, the amount of action figures, like little wooden figures, game pieces, cards, it's an obscene amount of children's toys or games. You find a small leather ball that's not been filled. You see, like I was saying, like dolls, like hand-hewn dolls. Some of them look brand new, some of them look old, some of them look like they're practically about to fall apart, but they're being held together.
I'm gonna stop real quick and put on a pair of gloves and handle them carefully. I am a trained archivist.
Okay.
I don't think anybody would have hidden anything in there, but I'm gonna keep poking through the very top layers.
Okay, I need another perception check.
Same as before.
You dig a little deeper, and then you find the dolls become different. You see like little toys of kobolds and orcs, and like not the normal toys you would see in a toy store type thing. Like these would be stuff that people would have to order, like have custom made. You even see like chess games that the board looks like they are made from obsidian and pearl, but it's missing pieces. That type of he definitely collects weird things.
Am I getting any weird vibes off of any of it, or do you just collect stuff?
Well, I mean, it's up to you how you perceive creepy. He is an older gentleman that has a penchant for drinking and has a bunch of action figures, dice, playthings. So I guess that's more on if Faye thinks that's creepy.
Shaming the old collector. That's not very nice.
Coming from the guy who's literally got almost every single bobblehead from Fallout above me.
Right, I was about to say, you're walking on some thin ice there talking about who's creepy with toys. Lego. I've got Legos, yes I do. I love my Legos. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna back on out of the boxes. I'm not finding anything particularly alarming in there, I guess. Dude just collects some strange stuff. And start looking through things like anything that might be on the desk or in personal drawers.
Alright. Roll.
30 even.
30 even. You dig around, and you find a scroll. As you unroll the scroll, it feels like it is a lot longer than it should be. And you see cities, you see names of, or I guess names would be a proper way to say it, like maybe like shop names, followed by city names, and there's a lot of checks. And it looks like this list is pretty old. Looks like it's probably got started. Some of the older dates date back, 7-8 years, and then some of the ink has faded a little bit, so you really can't determine exactly what else is there. And you see like chess piece, or you see like king, pawn, rook, 6-sided dice. You see 2 of hearts, king of hearts.
It's his inventory.
Yeah, but you see things that have not been checked off, so it might be more his collector's list.
Gotcha. Okay.
Clyde, would you like to do anything?
Well, now that I searched the outside, I went to search the bed and his inventory. But she did a lot of the inventory, so I'm not going to search the inventory.
Do you want to check more like the closet and the bed?
Yes.
Okay. Perception. Shut up.
11.
With an 11, you start in the closet, and you see he has about 5 or 6 outfits, all the exact same. Maybe from different, maybe they're just slightly different thread count, but they are pretty much, he has one outfit that he likes to wear.
Okay. And he has no paperwork or anything anywhere?
Not that you can see, but you do find on the bed, tucked underneath the pillow, a book. And it's How to Craft the Uncraftable. It looks like a book that someone that is a tinkerer or someone who built equipment would use. It has tips and tricks on how to make seamless cuts in wood, where if you have you could slide 2 pieces of wood together and it kind of makes a perfect seam where you don't see it, where you don't need nails or glue.
Oh, that's interesting. I think of defibrilus in this situation.
What are you going to do with the book?
If it's nothing that pertains, I'm going to remember it actually, because if there's how to make perfect seams, it doesn't say on how to find a place that would have a perfect seam, would it?
It would be more, it's like a how-to on how to make them. So if you read it, you could probably, in theory, reverse engineer it and figure out what you're looking for if you're trying to find something that's hidden using those hidden seams.
All right. How long would it take me to read the book?
Well, it's about the thickness of an average textbook. So it depends on how fast and how well Clyde can memorize things.
Okay. Well, I'm going to point this out to Faye that this is actually really good information for us in case we come across something later.
Oh yeah, this one's pretty popular at the library. Or it was. I can probably get my hands on a copy if you think defibulus would like it.
I think definitely, but I also think if I could spend some time with it, it might help us in this situation. If there's something, in our investigation that causes that to have a seamed area or a seamless area.
Then we can ask to borrow the book.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep the book out and for our investigation.
So you're just leaving it out to where you can find it?
Yeah, so I can reference when we have the collector to talk to him about it.
Okay.
Kalila's got not Kalila, Faye has a really good memory. She'll remember that.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily leave that out. Put it back under his pillow. He'll feel weirded out. And we want them to feel comfortable with us.
Well, it's something to reference. So I want him to know that, we had to search him because we were going to talk to him, and it's something to talk to him about. Because if he has already read this and memorized it, maybe he can help us also in the investigation, because he might have a better idea of things to look at.
We'll want him to be comfortable with you. I would bring it up in conversation when you're asking questions. I wouldn't necessarily leave it out that you have found it out of his secret spot, his hidden spot. That's going to make someone feel on guard and less like they want to help you.
Well,
You-
referencing it
but-
while it's secretly put somewhere is kind of, to me, more like they would be on around, like, oh, he searched there and then he put it back. So I'm just going to leave it up here, that way I can reference it for when because he's going to know that we looked around his room no matter what.
Right, but it's polite to put things back. You saw how carefully I handled the inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is there anything else in here you want to look at?
I don't think so.
Alright, let's get out of here. Hugin, did you notice anything, buddy?
He rolled a 14.
No.
He just shakes his butt.
All right, so can we see if we can get the collector down here to talk to him?
I'm going to take the book from wherever Clyde left it and stick it back onto the pillow.
I'm gonna do a perception check and bring it back out.
Boy, I wish I had a gem. I'd take you down right now. Put that back. This is about being polite and keeping people off their guard.
Exactly. He will be more on guard if it's referenced.
Look, I'm not saying reference the book directly. I'm saying reference the techniques within. Ask if they would be willing to help us with a search later. It looks like they know their stuff. Don't necessarily reference the book itself.
But you can't reference something without, I'm leaving it out so I can talk to him about it.
Harry gives you a bow and exits to get the collector. Defibulus and Kalila, you see Terry come up the stairs, walk up to the collector, whisper something in his ear, and he nods calmly, follows Terry down. Clyde and Faye. A few moments pass and the collector enters the room. He is a nondescript human, average height, average looks, average hair, like everything about him is just run-of-the-mill average. Nothing really stands out. He calmly sits down and looks at you, waiting.
What time of day is it? Lunch?
Yeah, it'd be lunch. You've been probably searching Terry and 3 other rooms. You've probably been searching for probably about an hour-ish.
Okay, that's what
Yeah, that makes that
So,
maths out.
good afternoon, sir. My name is Clyde. I'm the paladin from the Holy City. I want to inform you that we are doing an investigation of everybody, and that we did receive permission to look around your room.
He seems to nod calmly.
There's just some happenings that have gone on recently. That's one of the reasons why we are currently stopped at the moment here.
He slowly stands and glances out the window and goes, "Oh, yes, we aren't moving." Walking over to his things, he opens up one of the suitcases, reaches in his pocket, and places the casino chip in with a stack of others. And he slowly closes it.
So my first question is, have you ever dealt directly with the captain or any other of the supervising officers?
He goes, "Well, I purchased my ticket from the captain while he was in a small village. I was there collecting a few small knickknacks. And judging by how some of my things are just slightly out of place, I would assume you've looked through them. The cobalt figures, I knew a merchant that was selling them. He seemed to have taken an interest in me and offered to sell me a ticket on discount. I accepted it, and here I am, seeing that the lizard folk have decided to open up a new casino I wanted to see it for myself and see if they had any interesting pieces to collect.
Okay. So you met the captain directly?
Yes, I've met everyone directly.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And yes, we did go through a few things. I will not hold that back in any way, shape, or form. I want to let you know that straight out. But like I said, it's because we're conducting our investigation and try and find out exactly what's going on and if we can resolve the situation as quickly as possible.
He nods. He goes, well, I have all the time in the world to wait.
So some other questions. Did you see anybody, now as I've been on the ship, as far as I know, I have not seen you yet, but I'm not everywhere at all times. Have you seen anybody interact, angrily with any of the staff or the upper management in any way, shape, or form?
He gives a slight chuckle and goes, Mr. Clyde, you said your name is, correct?
Yes, of course.
I am what you would call a recluse. I came here for merely the transport. The only time I have even stepped foot on the casino floor was when I arrived and when I went up to acquire this chip. And it was recently, during the lunch music festival that they have going on, which that is very lovely music if you have not heard it. I've heard several tunes from the desert region and they all seem to have their unique qualities. I may end up collecting instruments one day. They seem to be just as unique as game pieces. Would you not say?
I would. Each has a different sound and a different way to produce other sounds that incorporate the wide range that we hear.
He nods.
We did find this book here, and I reference it. I did not want to just put it back away because I actually wanted to talk to you about it.
He goes, yes, I collected that a few years ago. There was a master woodsmith that produced a handful of handwritten copies, and I was gracious enough to acquire his last copy.
That's fantastic. Have you read it and understand the material?
He goes, no, I have not read it. I've just thumbed through the pages just to enjoy the man's handwriting. I find the concept of building with one's hands tedious at best. I have hired many people to deal with what I need dealt with. I just simply travel and collect.
Okay. Another question was, with this book, and I know it is his last copy, would you be willing to let me read it? Because it actually might help us in our investigation and possibly another person on my team to understand, to find something that might be tucked away in a seamless area that somebody else might understand and know how to create this kind of thing.
He places his hand on the book and slowly picks it up, looks at it for a moment, and then looks at you and goes, unfortunately, I cannot let this book out of my sight. It is a one of a kind.
Oh,
I'm sure you'll be able
course.
to find other versions of this that were copied by skilled scribes at any library or at any woodworking station or woodworking shop. He did produce quite a bit of them.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I will have to say no on handling my collectibles.
Okay, and I understand. Another question would be, is if somebody came to you and looked through it with you, would that be the last able meant to look at the book?
He goes, unfortunately, I again will have to deny it. This is a very, very rare piece of knowledge. And when we land at the lizard folk, I am very sure that you and your friend can acquire the book at any scribe station. They keep pretty good copies of them. It's still pretty much a standard.
Okay, that's what I was just checking to see if we could look at it now to help with our investigation. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much.
He nods. He slowly turns and looks at Faye, staring at you, not staring, but waiting expectantly for you to ask any questions.
You have an excellent collection. Can I go ahead and roll perception or sense motive real quick to see how I feel about his answers?
Absolutely.
22.
With a 22, you don't feel like he is lying in any way. But the way he says things, especially about the collection being one of a kind and things like that, kind of give you that, like, this is really weird. Because being in a library, you would recognize first editions and even last editions. And this just doesn't seem... For someone who collects what he collects, a book just seems kind of out of the ordinary. So the book is the only thing that kind of makes you apprehensive.
I would like to take a quick look at it using gloves so that I don't disturb, leave behind my finger oils, knowing that it is such a rare item to him.
Staring at you carefully, I have a 19 on to detect if you are lying. So, are you trying to lie to him or hide anything in any way?
No, I just didn't get a good close look at the book. Based on the title, I was aware that it existed, but since it's the last one and was handwritten in certain areas, I'd like to take a quick look at them.
He places the book down on the desk and just opens it up and he goes, "Please make sure that you do not smudge any of the ink."
I'm a professional, don't worry. I'll go ahead and carefully peek through the book.
Perception.
29.
As you flip through, it's pretty standard. Everything about it is relatively correct. Like the way their handwriting is clearly like original authorship. Until you get to the last pages, it looks as if either the person had fallen asleep writing or something like that. The ink trails off the edge of the pages abruptly, and a lot of the ink looks like it had been smeared. You know, if you fell asleep writing.
Right, I know what that looks like. Do I notice anything unusual about the contents of the writing?
It is the exact book that it says the titling is. You've seen this book 1,000 times, and you've probably checked it out more than that when you worked at the library. It was a very common... Anyone that wanted to be a carpenter, if they did not own a copy of this book, they have read it probably 1,000 times.
Okay. I will gently close it and tell him that this is in fact a unique copy, and I can appreciate that. Thank you for the privilege of handling it.
He nods. And he goes, "If there's anything else, I would like to return and listen to the music."
Got anything, Clyde?
I do not.
With a bow, he slowly exits the room and disappears up the stairs back at the casino floor.
I'm gonna ask Terry to tell Defibulus and Kalila that we had the collector, just so they know.
Harry gives you an odd look and then nods. And as he walks up, he eventually walks up to Clyde and Defibulus and lets them know that they have finished their... God damn it.
Hey, I'm a Clyde
Yeah.
now.
Kalila and Defibulus letting them know that the collector had been interviewed. Speaking of Kalila and Defibulus, what would you guys like to do?
Before Terry came back up?
Either way.
Well, I mean, unless the questioning literally, took 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, about 5-10 minutes, yeah. Not a long questioning.
I know one thing Defibulus will do.
Hmm.
Hey, Kalila.
Oh, hey, turning around from her cloud.
So, what are the clouds saying?
Fluffy thoughts?
I don't know. I don't trust those clouds.
Head empty, fluffy thoughts.
They are rather suspicious. The clouds are always sus.
Well, I mean, I have managed to be insulted by 2 elves already today.
Wow, making short work there, huh?
Short jokes.
You're welcome.
I thought bigger of you than that.
She goes, no, but turn of phrase. Ah, yeah. Sorry.
But apparently, the human chick is obviously not all there or doesn't understand much of anything.
What do you mean?
She ain't the brightest bulb in the shed.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't seem terrible. What'd she say to make you think that she was that stupid?
Her elf. Oh, and also be careful. He may come try to purchase you.
What? This is the second time I've nearly been purchased. What?
Oh, he is wondering how much one of you your kind costs, since you've obviously gotten past eating fish by the river.
Was it the third? How rude. Alright, so the elf man to the human lady is a rude. Got it.
And his wife is gonna get him and her cut off, I think, from the family fortune.
Sister.
Her sister. Who said that?
She goes, alright, so there's a family drama something going on with them.
Didn't he hear that one of them was gonna be profiting off the potential sale of the ship?
Yeah, the husband. So there's the elf husband and the dwarf merchant that are bidding for the Murdoch currently.
You know who knows a lot about that? Terry. I remember when in the beginning when we first got here and Terry kept rambling things about, oh yes, they want to bid and buy this or something ship things, and I got really confused.
Well, so far, it sounds like the biggest person to gain for the ship is going to be the dwarf and the elf.
Yeah, but I'm saying Terry knows what's going on about that. He knows who has a bid and what and the money situation. We need to talk to Terry.
But then again, the wife could also be spiteful enough to do something stupid because she wants to see him. She doesn't like her brother. He's ruining the family name.
So these three are suspicious. The human and the elf couple.
And the clouds.
Always. We'll Kalila is going to write that down to make sure to send it to Clyde at some point.
I want to clear up some things because you got some stuff kind of confused. So you have the elf male and the elf female. They are married. The elf male has the human female as a mistress. The other person that is bidding on the Murdoch is a dwarf merchant. So you have the elf husband and the dwarf merchant that are bidding for the Murdoch.
Wasn't he gambling with Baka?
At one point they were, but currently the gamblers are a halfling, Gullcat, who is human, and Baka Baklava.
Yay! Baklava.
Must protect Fancy Man.
Must protect the fancy man.
Yes.
All right, well, Kalila's still going to write that down because, good information to send to both Faye and Clyde, so that way they know that what they're finding out gossip-wise up top. But Kalila's going to wait until Terry gets back up here because she knows she's going to see him at some point.
Terry does actually come up just a few minutes after the collector returns up the stairs and goes to sit at the bar and drink. Terry walks up to you and goes, Miss Kalila and Mr. DeFibulus, they wanted me to let you know that they have finished interviewing the collector.
Oh, Naj goes, Terry, do you remember when we first got on board and you started telling me about the ship drama with purchases and stuff?
Yes.
Can you repeat all of that and go into more detail?
He goes, well, currently up for bids is the Murdoch. The elf, he gives a light head nod towards the elf over in the corner, talking to the human. His name is Volan. He currently has a bid of 500 platinum pieces for purchasing of the Murdoch. giving a nod over towards the dwarf at the buffet. That is Kolnakat. He is a dwarf from the Undercities and has another bid of 500 platinum. Currently, they both have gotten bits and pieces of the crew to sign away their bids. It has become a war of charm. Whoever can get all the signatures would then take control over the Murdoch, and from there be able to say who does and doesn't work here and what the Murdoch's future is.
Where do you stand on all this?
He goes, I am an employee. I don't have a stake. I would like to stay, but the captain refused to continue my service, seeing I asked for an extra 100 gold a week.
That's not that much, especially since you what were you saying this thing was worth or selling for?
Currently, it's 500 platinum.
Platinum. Come on. 100. That's petty. So wait, which one is the new captain you said that's saying no?
It was the old captain that said no.
The one that's dead.
Yes, the one that is deceased.
We don't want to say that too loud.
So
Yes.
why did he refuse to re-sign your contract?
Yeah.
Because I asked for 100 gold a week instead of my current pay, which is 50 gold a week.
Wait,
Oh,
you only get paid 50 gold a week doing what you do?
Correct. That is, I have all room and board taken care of, and I get to travel the world for free. So they told me that they would pay me 50 gold a week. I accepted foolishly, and that was 5 years ago? 5 years ago.
So he was just wanting to be cheap.
Well, I don't have any formal training in dealing with noble politics.
Kalila's gonna
Oh.
have the most surprised cat look face that she could have on that with the could have fooled me.
Because I have learned a lot in 5 years. And as I was telling your associate below, I come from a family of house stewards from the Holy City.
Really?
Yes. My family was either a house steward or worked for noble homes.
So just out of curiosity, call it the cat curiosity. Who do you think did it?
I would not know. My job is not to speculate in such things.
Just tell me all the information that you possibly can.
I am not telling you anything. I am just providing knowledge that every noble should have.
Fair. She was alright. Did they ask for the next person or they. What?
They just sent me up to tell you that they have finished interviewing the collector.
Alright, take this note back to them, please.
Yes, ma'am. Anything else you guys like to do while he makes his way down the stairs?
Which everything in the note was everything that Terry said and me and Defibulus found out. So that way they can pick whatever they want.
Would you guys like to do anything else on the casino
So
floor?
Lila is going to then start going, alright, who do we want to go eavesdrop on next? Should I go learn to gamble?
Do you have the money to gamble?
I mean, I have some coin on me. How bad can it be?
Well, some of these gamblers are doing like thousands of gold at a pop.
Oh. Maybe not then.
But one of the things you guys didn't check was your welcoming thing. There were free casino chips in there.
Oh!
Faye has a handful.
Yeah, Faye stole a handful of them.
I did not steal. They were there for the occupants of the room. I am an occupant of the room. I picked up a couple. I only took a few. Like, a quarter of them.
Only a quarter.
Yes, a quarter. 4 people. I took 1/4 of the chips as 1/4 of the occupancy of the room.
Would Kalila by chance remember or Defibulus?
I think Kalila would remember because of there's fruit and there are these strange wooden discs.
Just a straight roll to remember was a 13, so probably?
Yeah, you would remember there was something weird.
Hey, don't you use those colored brown disc things to gamble, Defibulus?
I mean, I've seen people at the table using them, yeah.
There was some in our room. What if we went and got that and, like, pretended to gamble? They're free.
We can try it.
Do you know how to gamble?
I travel with you guys.
That's fair.
Okay, look, warn me before you murder people, okay?
And you guys let me have wild shot.
Yeah, that's another mistake. So if we're really willing to let you have wild shot, good roll on setting the bar on fire, by the way.
Hey, I got it paid for, and now he can get some restructuring done to his place. Make it look better.
Yeah, that is true. He kind of did need to redecorate.
Just don't tell Grandpa that.
I won't.
He'll punish you, too.
You know, fortunately, he didn't acknowledge me very much. He was too busy arguing with Clyde.
Well, that is a full-time job.
He goes, here, I'm gonna go back down to our room and go get some poker chips really quick.
Okay.
Well, let's...
All right, so you get 750 chips.
I don't know how to count these things. How many do I have going up to Defibulous?
Defibrius will take a look at him.
There's basically chips for 50 and chips for 100, and a couple chips for 25, so it kind of breaks up. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like you got 750 and like miscellaneous, like 150 and 25.
He will explain those to her.
She goes, all right. Should we go gamble and eavesdrop and see what those guys are saying?
We can just remember that one guy is kind of a racist asshole.
Oh, is he the one who wants to buy me?
No, that's the elf.
Oh, okay. That's the elf.
The other racist guy.
The other racist guy. She goes, all right, do you think they would, like, do a free... Let's go see if they'll teach me how to gamble.
The angry racist versus the opportunist racist.
Yeah.
The, that gnome might be hell. I mean, he's teaching the orc.
Halfling.
Gerbil.
Hamsters.
Space hamsters?
I'm down.
Let's talk to him and see what he says.
All right, so they're gonna just head over to the poker table.
All right. As you walk up, you see Baka Baklava, his coach, that you never actually got his name, and Golcat are all gambling away as the clockwork robot is dealing cards. Bakla Baklava currently seems to be holding the most money, as he is also seeming to bet the lowest right now. As you approach, Baka smiles. He goes, "You come play?"
I don't know how to play. Can you teach?
I teach.
I sit.
The halfling across just goes, "Yeah, he actually might know this game well enough for him to teach. I'll just watch. Make sure there are no bad mistakes."
So one free hand to teach me the rules? She looks at everybody.
Golcat raises an eyebrow and goes, "Well, it depends. You got any money past that?"
Does it matter?
"Well, this is a gambling casino, kitten."
Well, is not going to know how to react to being called kitten and just look to the other two, ignoring him, being like, one free round to teach me the rules?
Baka's like, "I teach." The halfling's like, "It pisses off Golcat. Let's do it."
All right, I'm down. How about my friend, too? Looking at Defibulous, I'm assuming came with me, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So are you two going to gamble together and split the 750 chips, or are you just basically just going to use the one free hand for right now?
Are we brain teaming up together as like one person, or are we splitting?
Let's try one person at first, then see what happens.
I agree.
Okay. So Baka Baklava goes over the basic rules of 21, explaining, face cards are 10, and then number cards are equal to their number. Aces are either 1 or 11. Yeah, those are the rules. I had to remember. After a couple of minutes of explaining everything, he shows you all of the different cards so that you get a visual understanding of what's going on. Handing the deck of cards back to the clockwork robot, it begins to shuffle and starts to deal. Golcat is leaning back, laughing as you see a 10 and a face down card. He's laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah, you black cats use bad luck. Man, I'm gonna win every dime these guys got after you leave. Getting them all cursed by you. Best thing that's ever happened to me."
Can I sense motive on him?
Absolutely.
18.
He is overly cocky, and you probably know that he's probably got either an ace or a face card underneath. But you also have this sense that he might be cheating. He might either be counting cards or something like that.
Defibulous is going to keep an eye on him.
Kalila, I need you to roll a d20, a straight roll.
14.
As each person flips over, the halfling hits a 16. Golcat pulls out an 11. Baka pulls up a 20, and you pull up a 21.
Woo!
Baka goes, you win! Play again?
She'll look at Fibulous.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll keep an eye on things.
Alright. She'll play another hand.
As you guys are playing, they are keeping the bets low, so 25s.
Aw, they're being nice.
Golcat is bitching about how that no human is bidding on the Murdoch, and that, you know, there's some great kings out there that could really do having a place like this under their belt. It would even put Hold Keep back on the map. Baka seems to just kind of stay quiet about when he starts to talk about, you know, humans needing this, that, and the other. The halfling just sighs and goes, well, if the humans weren't so needy on technology, maybe they would be able to survive in the world without it. You're the ones that seem to have figured out how to make black powder, and you guys seem to can't figure out how to do anything else without it. Golcat seems to be kind of snarked about it and slams his fist down and literally threatens the halfling. The halfling is cool, calm, and collected, and Golcat walks off. Baka waits until he is far enough away and just starts to laugh and goes, Golcat has short fuse. He goes boom real quick.
She goes, clearly. And he's also very rude.
Baka just kind of chuckles. He goes, I think it's the human condition. Make humans mean and rude. The halfling looks at Baka for a moment and just chuckles. He goes, well, the human condition is life and death. Sliding out a ace of spades from his sleeve, he goes, that and Golcat doesn't know when he's being pickpocketed. Sliding the ace down, he chuckles.
Kalila's gonna reach over and see what he had as a hand too, since he's revealing that he apparently stole an ace off of Golcat.
Golcat had an 11, so he had a jack and a 2. Or I'm sorry, a jack and a, he had 12, so jack and a 2.
Nothing good.
Right. The halfling looks over at Defibulous. He goes, you want to sit in? We could just play to play, no betting.
You guys play a couple rounds. I want to check something real quick.
All right. Kalila's gonna stay and continue to listen and gossip to see what these two know, essentially.
As you sit and play, it seems as if Baka has been traveling for a little over a year, and he's met up with his halfling friend about 6 months prior. And they have been best of friends ever since. They've gotten to a few bar brawls and things like that, but all in all, Baka has been shown to have more intelligence than most people give him credit for. He just doesn't speak as educated as others.
And then this halfling is his friend, so they're just here
Yes.
to have fun and gamble.
Yeah,
They're not here to buy the Murdoch.
no,
Okay. So they're not really associated with them, okay.
correct. Defibulous, what would you like to do?
He's going to follow the racist jerk and see what he does.
The racist jerk storms over to the bar, orders a drink, and starts to drink.
Defibulous will order something that's not alcoholic. And kind of sit close enough that he can keep an ear open to see if the guy mutters anything.
As Defibulous listens to Golcat drink away and grumble about how if he had 2 wits about him, he would put that half-orc in his place, we're going to end this episode here.
Well, 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 me friends, it seems as if
the group is slowly learning more and more about what's going on behind the shade. And of course, Clyde and Faye had a chance to interview the Collector. I've met this man once, you know. He wanted a strange model ship an old captain of mine used to keep in his quarters. Well, needless to say, the captain sold it. But, unfortunately, my friends, that is all the time we have for this eve. And as always, may the dice gods bless your every roll. We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.